What is going on, YouTube land? I am Chris Scott the Lunar. Right now I'm here in Austin, Texas. I'm waiting at Nice Kicks, which is actually over there, because I'm waiting for the Yeezy 700 statics. I'm actually surprised because I'm out here and there aren't a lot of people camped out in line. It's about 6 a.m. right now. I'm surprised because online these shoes sold out on the Yeezy Supply website, so I anticipated more people would have been out here. So not sure if the hype is dead or if people are just cold and don't want to stay out in the cold. It's not that bad. It's like 44 degrees here in Austin, Texas, but I can understand people not wanting to camp out overnight. So I'm gonna head back in line, just chill there for a while, and we'll see what we can see. My objective right now is to get a size 8.5 or a 9, and right now I'm about number 6 in line, so there's a high possibility. All right. Before we get into today's shoe review, go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Scott the Lunar with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Alright, let's jump into it. So right after I hit up Nice Kicks and picked up this shoe from there, I didn't stay in Austin. I did some filming in there, but right after I did some of the filming, I came down here to San Antonio, Texas because I wanted to be with my family for New Year's Eve. So I apologize for the scenery. It's definitely not the Supreme background or the glass case or anything like that. This is actually my high school room in my parents' house. In acquiring the shoe from Nice Kicks Austin, I'm really surprised that this was an easy drop. Maybe at doors opening, there's probably 15 people in line to cop this shoe, and they definitely had leftovers after that. Though I'm sure by the posting of this video, they're probably all sold out now. This is the Yeezy 700 V2 Static, which was released yesterday, December 29th, 2018. This was actually part of a drop series released by the Yeezy brand, in which they released this Static and the 350 Static. They released a non-reflective pair, which is this one in hand, and a 3M reflective one, which was exclusively on the Yeezy Supply website. And if you haven't checked out my review for the non-reflectives, go ahead and click the card above. The retail price was $300 USD, add a couple dollars based on taxes and your particular location. In terms of resale, looking at apps like StockX, Greld, or Goat, this is going for about $350 to about $450, just depending on the size that you're needing. Now, this is my personal opinion. In ranking all the 700s that have been released to date, I would think that this one sits in between the OG model and the Mauves. I think the Mauves will forever be in dead last. It doesn't matter what colorway of 700s that come out in the future, the Mauves will always be dead last to me. And it seems that's represented as the Mauves were actually sitting in store yesterday. We've been waiting and we've been teased on a 700 V2 model for quite a while now, and now having the shoe in person, they've definitely delivered. My first impression of the shoe is hella dope. It kind of reminds me of like your dad's New Balance 993 shoes. Those were never cool, but this is a cooler version of that. And you also have to keep in mind, I think the shoe is dope, but the 700s were never a shoe that I really liked initially. They've definitely grown on to me. Now, being that this is the V2 model, there are some slight differences between this V2 and the OG and the Mauve pairs. Some of the leather, some of the suede from the V1 model just don't make the cut on this particular shoe, and I actually like the new upgrades to the V2 model. Looking at the upper of the shoes, it is comprised of several different materials. You have the leather, you have the suede going on, you have the gray knit upper, you have the 3M reflective material. It's just a lot of quality materials embedded in this shoe. The lateral and medial sides of the shoe look pretty identical, so we'll only focus on the lateral portion of this shoe. Now looking at the upper, towards the bottom or near the midsole area, we have this cream white leather panel right here. It reaches from the back to the top of the toe area. Behind that leather is a gray suede panel, which kind of starts the formation of the lacing system and the end of the toe box. Staying true to the 700 model, we have this shape right here, and this is at the toe box area. On this particular shoe, it's done in that gray suede. I really love how Adidas and the Yeezy brand layer these panels of suede and leather because it gives little windows and access to these little knit panels over here and over here at the toe box area. And these knits are done up in a gray color, which is a little bit darker than the suede gray. And on the knitting, just above this toe suede area is some 3M taping, which is reflective. And some of that reflective taping is actually matched up right here on the side quarter panel. What's cool about the 3M taping that's on this quarter panel right here is that these arch, but they also arch in the 3-stripe fashion, which is a nod to the Adidas 3-stripe branding. And I like that because on most Adidas Yeezy collaborations, you don't really see any of that Adidas branding or Yeezy branding on the shoe. So just to have like 3 stripes on the shoe, it's pretty cool. Now we can get into the lacing system of the shoe. So done in that same gray suede paneling, it reaches from the toe box area to the top of the collar. Now on this gray suede paneling, we have holes that form the eyelets for the shoelaces. Not only do we have punched in holes to form the eyelets for the shoelaces, we also have 2 slits into that suede panel on both the lateral and the medial portions of the shoe. Coming out from the slits are 3M loops, which also play an eyelet role. The default shoelaces are of an oval shape and of a gray color, but 2 implemented within them is that 3M reflective material. Getting to the tongue, the top is made out of that same gray knit material that you see on the quarter panel and at the toe box area. Where the tongue begins, we have this diamond shaped panel done in that gray suede, and on top of that we have that 3M reflective loop. The back of the tongue is actually done up in a gray meshing, which actually matches the inner lining of the shoe. Also, the tongue, it's padded with foam material. Since we started to talk a little about the lining of the shoe, it is padded on the lateral, the medial, and the heel portion of the shoe, and it is a comfortable fit for your ankle. Pulling the insole out from the shoe, we have a gray bed of fabric laid upon a green piece of foam. On that gray fabric and printed in white, we have the Adidas equipment logo, we have the Yeezy branding, and we have the Ortholite logo because this insole is from Ortholite. In doing a little research, Ortholite is a company that manufactures foam at different densities. On this particular insole, there are 3 different color blocks going on. The green is reflective of 0.15 density, the red at 0.13 density. I'm not too sure what the yellow is. I tried to do a little research, couldn't find too much information on it. Now, the different densities help particular areas of your foot because different parts of your foot impact the ground differently. Let's actually get back to the external of the shoe and focus on this heel area. Now, if you look at the V1 models, the heel area is completely different from the V2 model. And I actually like the V2 heel versus the V1 heel. So one difference is this letter M right here. It reaches from the lateral side of the shoe, meets at the heel, then goes to the medial side of the shoe. And there are actually 5 dots on this leather panel that is done up in cream white if I failed to mention it. So you have the 5 dots right there, and then you have the 5 dots on the inside. Now under that M or those arches, we have that gray knit material right there and some of that 3M taping going along the top border. Now in the valley of that M or this triangle shape right here, this is done up in 3M material. Going across the heel right here is that suede gray panel, and there are 3 dots perforated into that panel. And above that suede, that gray meshing that matches the inner lining of the shoe. The midsole of the V2 stays true to the 700. You have those same craters, the same valleys going on. You have these 2 oval craters at the back. And in this particular model, it's done up in like an off-white or a very light gray color. I will say that the midsole on the shoe, they played it pretty safe. I wish they would have employed color in these ovals right here like they did on the OG model and the Mauves. They could have put a black oval or a gray oval, but they chose to leave it absent of color, and it's just a little bit boring. It really does remind me of that 993 New Balance shoe, your dad's shoe. Now, embedded within this midsole is that boost technology that Adidas is very famous for. This is actually a BASF technology, and if you've never worn boost material, it's really comfortable. It definitely feels like you're walking on clouds. If you don't believe me, go into your local shoe store, definitely try a shoe with boost, and then like a Nike Air technology with that Phylon EVA or whatever. You will definitely see the difference between boost and insert brand here. Moving on to the outsole of the shoe, you can see that it is done up in this black blown rubber, and it's done in blown rubber for flexibility purposes. And I love the traction markings on the shoe. They kept it pretty simple. At the top of the toe area, you have the arching area going on, and then you have the zigzags on this portion, and then at the back you have the striping with the Adidas branding at the heel. You can see part of that solid foam midsole coming into play right here, and what I like about this is that they feature little windows so you can see some of that boost technology. Concerning fitment, I usually rec a size 8.5 or a 9. Usually when I'm wearing Nikes, I'm wearing a 9. When it's Adidas, usually an 8.5. That's my true to size. So I definitely went true to size on this particular shoe. The spacing between the top of my toe and the top of the shoe, I have about a 0.5 centimeter, which is ideal for my foot. In terms of comfort, I think this is the most comfortable Yeezy on the market. Whether you're comparing the 350s, the 500s, the 700s are the way to go in terms of comfort. And especially that is not just comfort, it provides a lot of stability, it provides cushioning, and it provides support. In summation, when the 700s first came out with that OG model, I thought the shoe was super ugly. I really thought that the dad shoe phase would like pass by really quickly, but it's here to stay. It has definitely taken me a while to grow into this specific segment of shoes. I'm definitely liking the 700s as of now, with exception of the Mauves. Concerning the static, I think this is a great shoe that you can rock with almost anything, especially since it's a pretty neutral color. Now, at the $300 price point, I don't think the technology that is implemented within the shoe justifies that $300 price point. But let's be real, you're not buying this shoe because of that boost technology. You're buying the shoe because of the name behind it, Kanye West. Definitely, the shoe is not worth the $300 price point in terms of material, but I'm definitely gonna keep this one. Concerning Kanye West, in watching previous videos of mine, you already know that I've expressed my disdain for the man, but even with his comments and the release of the statics, this definitely made me do a double take on this particular shoe. I mean, what can I say? Both static models, the 350 and the 700, they're good looking shoes. Alright guys, I think this is a good stopping point for this shoe review. What do you think about the Yeezy 700 V2 statics? What do you think about these 350 statics? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris_Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Alright guys, I am Chris Catalunya, and we will check you next time. Cheers, sige na!